Take the opportunity to talk to you about Copics. Copics are probably my #1 favorite coloring medium. But when I first started out with Copics, it was probably the most frustrating process ever. I would watch video after video after video and never seemed to have the marker that the artist was using. If I did try to follow her, then I wouldn't have the paper. If I took the markers I had and created the image with what I had, I often still didn't have the paper. In the long run, I began using the paper and choosing my markers. Earlier this year, a woman by the name of Sandy Allnock created the Hex Chart, and that's what you see here in the camera. And I believe that this chart has revolutionized the way we think about Copics. So if we look at the blending groups, if you will, 81, 83, and 85, and we find those here on the chart, 81, 83, 85, you see that why they are a blending group, that probably isn't going to be what would give you the best coloring option. Using R81 and RV32 and R83 may be a better choice, or 83, RV34, and R85 may be a better choice. So pretty soon you can see how the frustration occurred. So what I did is I decided that we all are very particular about our paper, and we all tend to buy in the same family or the same style. So I went to my 6x6s and I pulled out several packs. Obviously, I'm a fan of Indie. I have them in several colorways. Here we have Lucky Charm by Dear Lizzie, and we have Soho Garden by American Crafts. Now, to look at them, they all seem different, but yet in some respects they're the same. These are what I like. So what I did is I pulled out a representative from each pack and I took it to Sandy's chart, and the link to this chart is in the supply list. And I found these colors on the chart. And then I took and I colored them in. And as you can see from this stack of papers, there are very few markers represented. And now I know that these are the markers that I need. And if you didn't have the markers, you could put an X there and it would give you an idea of what you needed to purchase without buying markers that just sit. I, for one, probably only use 1/3 of the markers I own on a regular basis. So here I can see that R24 matched a lot of my paper, so I would fill in those blending groups around R24. R20, again, I would fill in this group, my browns, my yellows, and as you notice, my blues tend to be more towards the blue-green. I really don't live much down here. In fact, out of all the papers that I went through, I had a very hard time coming up with anything in this family, and very little did I find in the BV and the V family down in here. The colors that I use the most are in this range, and I would expand in here to get my hair colors. Yellows, my blue-greens, and my greens. It's very easy now to expand my supplies based on the style and colors of papers that I purchase. I hope that helps. In the next video, I'm going to actually show you coloring. Families.